If you thought Kim Jong-un was merely a ruthless dictator, prepare to see a side of him that's even more outrageous and infuriating. While his people face crippling hunger and severe malnutrition, he lives like a modern-day monarch, indulging in imported French cheeses, sipping on the world's most exclusive liquors, and burning through tens of thousands of dollars in a single night of decadence. This isn't just luxury, it's excess on a scale that defies belief, especially coming from a leader of a nation in crisis. Watch till the end, because what unfolds is a jaw-dropping glimpse into the opulent and obscene daily life of North Korea's most controversial figure. Luxury dictatorship. Unlike most global leaders who follow structured routines, North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, begins his day in an unpredictable manner, largely dictated by the previous night's indulgences. There is no fixed waking hour for him, instead, his morning depends on how much he partied or drank the night before. Yet, while his personal schedule remains a mystery, he maintains a bizarre method of waking his nation. In the capital city of Pyongyang, loudspeakers blare a haunting tune titled, "Where Are You, Dear General?" a composition reportedly written by his father, Kim Jong-il, in 2008. This eerie anthem echoes through the streets each morning, particularly near the railway station, serving as a chilling reminder of the regime's psychological grip. It's less of a wake-up call and more of an auditory command, sounding more like ghostly whispers than a gentle nudge from slumber. While the citizens rise to that strange melody, their leader begins his own morning in complete contrast, within the extravagant confines of the Ryongsong Residence. Known also as the Central Luxury Mansion, this secluded palace was built in 1983 and is located in a highly restricted area of Pyongyang. It's not just a home, it's a symbol of excess surrounded by hardship. Here, Kim Jong-un lives with his wife, Ri Sol-ju, and their children, surrounded by amenities most North Koreans can't even dream of. The palace features a lakefront banquet hall, an Olympic-sized indoor swimming pool measuring 15 meters wide and 50 meters long, a running track, athletic fields, and even spa facilities. There are horse stables with an enclosed riding area, a private horse racing track, and a shooting range, all designed for leisure, luxury, and the projection of power. But the surreal contrast doesn't stop there. As most people start their day with a trip to the bathroom, North Korean propaganda offers a mind-bending twist to this routine. In one of the most bizarre claims made by the regime, it is asserted that Kim Jong-un, like his father and grandfather before him, does not need to defecate. The reasoning? He is so dedicated to serving his people that he burns every ounce of energy with divine efficiency, leaving behind no waste. This strange myth is part of a long-running propaganda campaign meant to elevate Kim Jong-un to godlike status, portraying him as a being above the mundane realities of human biology. To outsiders, these stories may sound absurd, even laughable. But within North Korea, decades of systematic brainwashing have shaped a population that reveres their leader with religious devotion. Through absolute control of media, education, and public messaging, the regime has created a national mythos in which Kim Jong-un is not just a ruler, but a living deity. It's a disturbing blend of fantasy and fear, where the supreme leader is believed to be beyond the constraints of ordinary life, untouched by hunger, fatigue, or even the need for a bathroom. This tightly orchestrated illusion ensures that while Kim Jong-un lives in palatial luxury, his people wake each day to a song, a myth, and a system that demands unquestioned loyalty. For those who have managed to escape the iron grip of North Korea, their stories are nothing short of haunting. These survivors often speak of a life defined not just by hardship, but by the relentless psychological manipulation that began the moment they were born. From early childhood, they were conditioned to believe that the Kim dynasty was divine, that Kim Jong-un could hear their thoughts, sense their doubts, and punish them without uttering a word. One former citizen even confessed she lived in constant terror, believing that a single unpatriotic thought could lead to her death. This intense level of mind control was not just a method of governance, it was a prison for the soul. And while millions suffer under this invisible cage of fear, the man at the center of it all begins each day in complete luxury, detached from the reality his people endure. But his morning doesn't stop there. After indulging in his rare and costly brew, Kim reportedly moves on to an extravagant breakfast, likely consisting of imported gourmet items from across the globe. From European cheeses to exotic fruits, nothing is out of reach for the North Korean leader. These meals, fit for royalty, are served in private dining halls adorned with the finest decor, where only his most trusted aides and family members may dine. Meanwhile, outside the palace walls, North Koreans endure one of the worst hunger crises in the modern world, facing chronic malnutrition, poor sanitation, and food scarcity so severe that some rely on foraged grass or bark to survive. The contrast is staggering. As citizens struggle to stay alive, Kim Jong-un lives in a bubble of grandeur, shielded by layers of wealth, propaganda, and privilege. His morning routine, though seemingly mundane, is a powerful reflection of the deep divide between the ruler and the ruled in one of the most secretive regimes on earth. Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, leads a life filled with extravagant indulgence while his people struggle with extreme hunger and food shortages. A UN report has revealed a staggering statistic: nearly 12 million North Koreans are grappling with hunger, a stark contrast to the luxurious lifestyle their leader enjoys. Ironically, while his citizens live in dire conditions, Kim's breakfast spread is nothing short of a feast fit for royalty. It raises serious questions about the priorities of a regime where the leader's every need is met, while millions of his people barely scrape by with basic sustenance. Kim Jong-un's mornings are defined by lavish meals, beginning with high-quality bacon, sausages, and prime cuts of meat that most people can only dream of. This is no ordinary breakfast. We're talking about Italian Parma ham and Wagyu beef, both delicacies from the finest suppliers. While Kim enjoys these gourmet delights, his people are restricted to boiled rice and bean paste, a far cry from the protein-packed breakfast the leader devours. It's almost as if the entire country is deprived of access to these life-sustaining foods, all for the pleasure of a single individual who consumes it all. The wealth disparity is undeniable, and the question lingers: why does one man need so much? But it's not just meat that defines Kim's diet. His fondness for sushi, particularly made with toro, the fatty belly of the tuna, raises eyebrows, given its health concerns. While sushi is typically considered a healthy meal, Kim's preference for the rich, fatty parts of the tuna suggests an indulgent, if not reckless, approach to dining. However, it's not just sushi that fuels his hefty frame. Kim's obsession with Swiss mental cheese, a luxury he developed while studying in Switzerland, is legendary. This rich, aromatic cheese has captivated his taste buds to such an extent that in 2014, North Korean officials were dispatched to a French dairy school to learn how to make it. Despite being denied, the country's leader was relentless in his pursuit of the luxury cheese, a clear sign of his unyielding desire for the finest. Kim Jong-un's appetite for the finest foods extends to luxury seafood as well. He has an undeniable love for lobster and caviar, both of which are banned by the UN from entering North Korea due to their extravagant nature. However, this doesn't deter the supreme leader. Kim continues to import the finest Caspian Sea caviar and lobster, ensuring his seafood cravings are always satisfied. This defiance of international bans paints a picture of a leader who answers to no one. His desires take precedence, even over global agreements meant to prevent wasteful consumption. Mythical monarch. Once Kim Jong-un has satisfied his extravagant appetite, his day truly begins, not with quiet reflection or internal policy review but with a meticulously staged display of leadership. Emerging from his lavish, heavily guarded mansion, he embarks on visits to factories, construction sites, farms, and local markets. But these are not spontaneous acts of governance. Instead, they form part of a carefully crafted propaganda campaign meant to convince North Koreans that their supreme leader is deeply invested in their well-being. In reality, this grand show of concern is more about optics than compassion, a facade aimed at maintaining the illusion of a benevolent ruler tirelessly working for the people's benefit. Before any of these public appearances, however, Kim undergoes an extensive transformation, not just physically, but symbolically. Every detail of his appearance is designed to project power and tradition. From his iconic wardrobe, often a dark Mao-style suit echoing his grandfather Kim Il-sung's attire, to his unmistakable hairstyle, every element is calculated. His hair, shaved on the sides with a voluminous top, is deliberately styled to give him added height and distinction. In fact, Kim is so obsessed with maintaining his unique image that North Koreans are forbidden from copying his haircut. The state has officially sanctioned only 28 hairstyles, 18 for women and 10 for men. None resemble Kim's look, further elevating him above the masses both literally and symbolically. In this tightly controlled society, appearance isn't just a matter of personal choice, it's a matter of loyalty. To reinforce ideological uniformity, North Korean state television even airs programs instructing citizens on proper socialist grooming. Public image is not merely suggested, it's mandated. This extreme level of micromanagement demonstrates how deeply Kim desires to control not just his citizens' actions but also their identities. Any deviation or criticism is not merely frowned upon, it's dangerous. After all, in a country where the leader is treated as infallible, questioning his decisions can lead to severe consequences. And Kim Jong-un has made it clear, he alone sets the standard, whether it be for hair, fashion, or national policy. When Kim Jong-un steps out in public, he does so with the flair of a man who spares no expense on luxury, starting with his wrist. Rarely seen without a high-end timepiece, the North Korean leader boasts a personal watch collection valued at over $8.2 million. Each watch is more than just a statement of wealth, it's a subtle flex of power and prestige, crafted to reinforce his image as a supreme ruler above the fray of everyday life. And if the luxury watches weren't enough, he's always equipped with a pair of binoculars, perhaps not just for style, but for those sudden, surprise, rocket launches that might require his ever-watchful gaze. It's a mix of military readiness and millionaire indulgence, all wrapped in one carefully curated appearance. But Kim's extravagance doesn't stop at accessories. When it comes to transportation, international sanctions are no match for his taste in cars. Despite strict bans on luxury imports, Kim has amassed a jaw-dropping garage that rivals even the most elite collectors. Among his fleet are an Audi R8 valued at $162,000, a $100,000 Range Rover, and a bulletproof Rolls-Royce Phantom worth over $500,000. Yet his crown jewel remains the $1.6 million Mercedes-Maybach limousine, a vehicle he proudly flaunts for high-profile meetings, including one where he pulled up in style to greet former CIA Director Mike Pompeo. All in all, Kim reportedly owns over 100 luxury and performance vehicles, a staggering contrast to the lives of ordinary North Koreans, many of whom have never even owned a car. It's not just transportation, it's a rolling display of untouchable power and unchecked opulence. While millions of North Koreans struggle to find enough food for even one proper meal a day, their supreme leader floats through life aboard his opulent 95-foot yacht, aptly named My Princess. Far from being an ordinary vessel, this $7 million luxury yacht is a symbol of unrestrained extravagance. Designed by the renowned British shipbuilders and owned by none other than the French luxury giant LVMH, famous for brands like Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior, this motor yacht is as elite as it gets. Outfitted with 3 expansive decks, a full kitchen, a high-end salon, a gourmet dining area for 10, and 4 elegant bedrooms, each complete with a private bathroom, it offers the kind of lavish comfort most can only dream about. Dennis Rodman, the former NBA star and Kim's unlikely friend, once described the yacht's interior as a surreal blend of a luxury ferry and a Disney-themed cruise, an odd, yet fitting portrayal for a dictator who lives in excess while preaching socialist ideals. But the extravagance doesn't stop there. Satellite images have unveiled even more hidden maritime treasures near Kim Jong-un's coastal compounds, including a second luxury yacht measuring roughly 100 feet in length. According to NK News, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Kim reportedly owns a collection of sea toys that rivals those of billionaires in the West, complete with a 60-meter leisure boat, a smaller yacht equipped with a water slide, and an entire fleet of jet skis. It's a nautical empire meant for royal indulgence, not a ruler of a starving nation. While the people of North Korea face food shortages and economic despair, their leader cruises the coast in his floating palaces, surrounded by extravagance that seems almost designed to mock their suffering. This glaring contrast between Kim's extravagant lifestyle and his people's harsh reality paints a disturbing picture of modern-day dictatorship. The same man who oversees a country gripped by famine casually drops millions on luxury watches, high-end liquors, and yachts that could easily feed entire provinces. His obsession with luxury and status isn't just shocking, it's a blatant display of disregard for human suffering. As North Korea's supreme leader continues to live out his fantasy of royal opulence, the world watches with growing disbelief, wondering how long the illusion can hold before the tide finally turns. Kim Jong-un's leadership in North Korea is built on a foundation of ruthless tactics and calculated control, and it comes at a heavy cost to the country. Shockingly, about 24% of the nation's annual budget is allocated to maintaining the military, ensuring that Kim remains in power through brute force. Another 30% of the budget is spent exclusively on Kim and his inner circle, a display of how deeply he invests in personal power while his people suffer. Despite his lavish spending, Kim's public image requires careful maintenance, and he performs his role as the supreme leader to perfection. He smiles, waves to the adoring crowds, and takes group photos, carefully crafting a persona of universal admiration, even if he knows it's far from reality. Kim Jong-un understands well that not everyone reveres him, and the fear of dissent looms large. This is why he spares no expense in ensuring his safety, investing millions of dollars in his personal security. Kim's protection is not just a matter of hiring ordinary bodyguards, it involves a select group of highly trained individuals who are experts in combat and martial arts. These bodyguards are handpicked under strict criteria. One notably bizarre requirement is that they must not be taller than 5 feet 5 inches, a reflection of Kim's obsession with maintaining an imposing stature. His security detail is as much about psychological dominance as it is about physical defense. In addition to his personal guards, Kim's residence is a fortress, surrounded by high walls, rigorous security checks, and constant surveillance. The leader's fear of vulnerability extends into his communication as he uses encrypted channels to ensure that his private conversations remain confidential. His inner circle is small, and loyalty is the cornerstone of the advisors who support him. This extensive security network enables Kim to go about his day-to-day life with a sense of invincibility, yet his paranoia remains palpable. He knows that power can be fleeting, especially when there are those within his ranks who might challenge him. Kim's fear of being overthrown is not without reason. His willingness to go to extreme lengths to secure his reign was clearly demonstrated in the assassination of his half-brother, Kim Jong-nam. Once a potential successor to Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-nam fell out of favor when he attempted to enter Japan using a fake passport, which caused a rift with his father, Kim Jong-il. However, it was in 2017 that Kim Jong-nam's fate was sealed in the most horrifying way. On February 13, while at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Kim Jong-nam was approached by two women who smeared a deadly VX nerve agent on his face. Within 20 minutes, he was dead, unable to make it to the hospital in time. The murder, which was caught on CCTV, shocked the world, and it quickly became clear that the mastermind behind it was Kim Jong-un. The murder of Kim Jong-nam is a chilling reminder of the lengths Kim Jong-un is willing to go to secure his hold on power. His half-brother was not merely a family member but a threat to his authority, a rival who, in Kim's eyes, could have taken the throne. The assassination was not just a personal vendetta but a calculated political move, a display of the extreme measures Kim would take to silence potential opposition. It was also a stark message to anyone within North Korea's regime: challenge Kim, and the consequences will be deadly. This act of ruthless violence not only removed a potential challenger but also solidified Kim Jong-un's absolute authority. By mercilessly eliminating his own blood relative, Kim showed that he would stop at nothing to retain his grip on power. His readiness to orchestrate such a heinous act underscores the terrifying nature of his rule, a regime where loyalty is demanded at all costs and betrayal is met with swift and brutal retribution. For Kim Jong-un, power is everything, and he will do whatever it takes to maintain his reign. What surprised you the most about Kim Jong-un's daily life? Was there something you never expected? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to explore the fascinating videos on your screen for more unbelievable stories.